Good morning and welcome to MtMtE. I'm your host, Blind Prime, and for today we're going to be talking about an Acura hatchback car that happens to be a police car, that happens to also be a transformer, that just so happens to be Prowl. This is one of the more interesting of them out there because it's the only hatchback. The other cars in the line next to Optimus Prime and Hound are all kind of just cars, just normal everyday vehicles with an opening trunk and an opening hood and opening doors. But Prowl is an interesting, he's different. He's the only police car, which I do wish they had made a Barricade. I think that would have been a lot of fun, but Barricade really wasn't a character back then when these came out. Remember, Barricade was kind of a background character and didn't really come to the forefront until the 2007 movie, where Barricade was one of the was one of the Decepticons and the only Decepticon to actually turn into a car in that first movie. And Barricade is he's the anti-Prowl, and it's really fun to have Barricade. But that's knocking things over here, blind_prime. But that's why there's not a Barricade version of Prowl. If Barricade had been more popular back then and actually had been on the forefront, it would have become a repaint of this Prowl mold. And that is a missed opportunity, but then again, Barricade just wasn't a character back then. Nowadays, anytime you get a Prowl mold, you'll also be getting a Barricade mold as well. It's just going to be a repaint of Prowl. They do it every single time nowadays. But back in the day, back before the 2007 movie, Barricade rarely appeared, and Barricade was rarely just a repaint of Prowl. So that is just a little history in why there is a Prowl but not a Barricade in this toy line. And I'm just going to move this guy over here to the opposite side. There we go. Tired of knocking him into things. So this is an Acura car, and I really do enjoy it. I went trying to find the model number, and I keep drawing a blank anytime I start the camera, and I keep forgetting it. But no worries, it will be in the title. So you'll understand what the car model is when you read the title of this video, or you listen to it if you have an audio text reader software that reads you the titles of videos. So let's get into talking about this figure, and before we get too much further into this, please give me your likes. I desperately need them. The algorithm does not like me. It does not like me at all, and I need some help fighting it. The algorithm does not give me the attention I think I deserve. So please help me get the algorithm's attention by liking all of my videos. If you're a first-time subscriber, just go back through all the previous videos and just like them. I don't even care if you listen to them or not. Just like them. Okay, let's get into this beautiful car. And now leave me a comment below and let me know what was your favorite car mode out of the alternators. I know there's a lot of different car modes available, but let me know which one was your favorite car mode. So this guy's got the typical moving wheels. Now his wheels actually move in a unique way. We'll talk about that during the transformation, but these are connected in a different way than normal. Now if we open the hood, we get a little engine in here. We can actually pull out the engine, so we're just going to go ahead and pull. Come here, engine, I swear, engine. Thank you. Now this engine it's got some really good textures on it. We've got, I like that it actually has raised lettering on the engine, and there's all these little pipes and nodules and stuff on the engine, and I've never actually, put hands on a real Acura engine or the Acura hatchback, but I'm pretty sure this is a good approximation of that engine. They did a really good job with all of these really fun engine pieces. And of course, it transforms into a gun by you just unfolding it and then unfolding the handle from within it, and you got a little gun. I think that's a lot of fun. It's a fun little gun. You can put that back into the hood there. And there's not really a way for this thing to clip in. If there is, I have forgotten it long ago. I just always kind of set it in there. And it didn't want to set in there this time. Oh my god. Hey, why are you fighting me? There you go. That's a good engine. There we go. Yes. That's a good engine. Okay. So let's go over this vehicle and talk about how it feels, and then I'll give you my final thoughts on it. And we'll also open up the hatchback and things like that. So, let's start from the front, because I like starting from the front grille. And you put your thumbnail in there, you get a vent pattern going on for the intake for the air, that nice little grill across the front of the vehicle. You get this fun little Acura symbol right above the grill. There's like this line of car, and then there's this little Acura symbol, and it's in this little divot that allows you to open and shut the hood of the vehicle very easily compared to others in the alternators line, which may be a little more difficult to open the hood with. This one has a little area where you can fit your fingernail in, and I do appreciate that. It's got the traditional lights on the sides that we've come to expect, though these aren't like the other lights that we've seen before. These lights are a bit bigger and more utilitarian because this is a police car. Now, this is a city car, definitely more on the European or Asian police standards. Definitely not the American police cars. I don't think I've ever seen an American police car be a hatchback. So on the side, we've got this really nice wheel. The wheel well here works out pretty well. We've got that little spiral pattern in there, and it does, I bet, when you spin it, it kind of blurred together in a real nice way. It's really fun wheels, and I really do appreciate all the attention to detail in this thing. Coming down here across the side, we've got the door. I know I'm missing my rear view mirror for the driver's side. I have no idea what happened to it, but I've moved more than 10 times in my life, so probably happened in amongst one of those moves. Never figured out what happened to that. But it is difficult to get the driver's door open without that piece, because that is how you usually open the door. But you can come down here to where the door connects to the rear of the car, and there's a little edge right there you can get your thumbnail into and peel the door open. And for some reason, the door just fell off. I don't know why my door just fell off, but good thing we can talk about how to repair the door falling off. Okay, so there's the little connection point. Let's make sure that your grip isn't broken off. I think maybe it's actually a permanently broken door now. Okay, so it goes into that spot, and let's see if it's actually a fixed door or a broken door, because I really haven't transformed this guy in forever. I'm actually going to be practicing the transformation tonight. Okay, so I stuck it back in, and it stuck in pretty well, but let's try to, oh great, we can't pull it out. Let's try and open this side. Let me use that little bit. Okay, so this door opens well. Now we can pop that door open, and the door does not open. Okay, this door, let's go ahead and pull it off and get an idea of what's going on here. Come on. Yeah, come on now. I thought so. I think somebody may have actually broken my Prowl and just kind of put it back together and walked away from it. So that's actually a really solid connection for that door piece there. Let's slide that back in. Come back over here, and let's see if we can pull this piece out. Maybe that will help. Maybe if we can just get this piece to unfold a bit. Let's see. Okay. And this is something you have to do sometimes with your transformers if you intend to figure out what's wrong with them. Now those are hooks, so I've pulled it out just a little bit, but it does not want to come out any further. So let's look on this door here and move this piece around. Let's see. So there's that thing, and that thing is supposed to have, yeah, it does. It's got a little bar in there, so the little bar should be able to connect with these little grips, but the little grips are really in there because of the transformation. So we're going to have to actually wait, maybe I fixed it. All right, neat. That wasn't that hard. You just have to match the bar with the teeth and realize that unlike other doors, usually the door has the bar. No, the door has the teeth and the car has the bar. But this time it's the other way around. The door has the bar, the car has the teeth for connecting to the bar that closes and opens the door. So just be aware of that. Now let's get in here and talk about the interior. His seat has been folded down. Apparently he was trying to get somebody into the back of the vehicle. So the seats here are, they're not as nice as Soundwave seats. I mean, because this is a police car at the end of the day, and Government isn't really always about comfort. It's more about utilitarian stuff. And there's a little rubber um, you know, piece in there for the emergency brake. We got the gear shaft in there that you can feel. There's a glove box that's etched out. It doesn't open. Um, and there's no way to get. Let's see. Can we actually feel if they put pedals in there? No, they didn't put pedals in there. But I do like the steering wheel and the fact that it's all rubbery and wiggly. It's a fun little steering wheel. And once again, they did put the vents into the dashboard. And I really appreciate when they put the air conditioning vents into the dashboard. That's just a small attention to detail. And in the center compartment, you've got all these little knobs and things that it's got more knobs and radio diodes and stuff than other cars because this is a police car. So inside of the vehicle, we've got this really wonderful interior with all sorts of textured things. And to anybody from modern day who may not have ever set foot in a car older than 2010, just so you know, cars used to not have touch screens inside of them, and they used to have buttons and things. And as a blind person, I really appreciated those cars because if it got too cold in the car, as a passenger, I could just reach over and change it. Or if I didn't like the radio station, I could just be like reach over and change it. Now, with the fact that once again, blind people have been driven out of something, something they could do before by the increase of technology, I can no longer adjust the temperature in a vehicle with that stupid touch screen. I mean, what do I do? Touch on it? I don't know how to touch on it. There's nothing that can give me any sort of feedback to let me know if I'm doing it wrong or right, except for the fact that somehow I turned on the radio and changed it to white noise and turned the volume all the way up and did manage to turn the heat on when I was trying to just turn the air conditioning off. So I got warmer, but at the same time, I was plugging my ears trying to figure out how to turn off the white noise. Ah, I hate touchscreens. I really, really just despise them in vehicles. And with all the whole and this is just a weird side note. I'm just a small little tangent here. With all the conversations in this country about don't text and drive, don't look away from the road. My question is, and I don't, as a blind person, I don't understand this, and I want to know, how do you do it? How do you manage to utilize that big giant center console touchscreen and go between radio stations or move the temperature dials and do all the other things without looking away from the road? How do you manage that? That seems like it's a lot of distracting stuff in the core area there. And how do you manage to do that? Look at the road and look at all of that stuff. I assumed when I was younger that the reason people could continue to look at the road and change the radio dials and change the air conditioning and stuff was because it was all buttons and knobs. So you didn't need to actually look with your eyes. You could just reach your hand over and follow through with muscle memory. No, let me go to the switch on the far right hand side, and then I'll spin that for either for temperature control. One switch over from the left of it, that's the how fast or slow the air is blowing through, and then another switch next to it is it just doesn't make any sense to me why we ticket people for texting and driving, for looking at their cell phones while driving, and then car companies go and make the most distracting sounding thing I can ever imagine putting in a car next to a child with a toy that makes noise in the back seat into the front center console. Like, let me know in the comments, how do you do it? Because as a blind person, I've got no clue how you manage to look at the road and drive safely and look at that center console and fiddle with it. Like, do you take your eyes from the road? Do you just use your peripheral vision? Let me know in the comments below. I'd really like an answer to that question because I just am boggled by the fact that those aren't illegal. So that was my little tangent on the center consoles and my dislike of modern day center consoles as a blind person. I don't get it. I always thought the other consoles were safer, and these just seem a little more dangerous because you've got to look away from the road to make sure that you're doing it properly. That just doesn't make any sense to me. Now, let's get back into describing this car. I'm sorry I took so long in that little rant. So let's open the passenger side door up and talk about, we put the seat down. Now, other of these cars in this series have had a back seat. That's the biggest difference between this guy and others. This car doesn't have a back seat, and that's a shame. Windcharger didn't have a back seat either, but Windcharger wasn't a police car that supposedly, carries criminals in the back. I was amazingly surprised whenever that thing didn't have a back seat. Let's shut that door, and let's shut that door. There we go. Now, coming around here to the side, because there's not really much to talk about texture-wise on the side of this vehicle. There's the occasional panel. This one doesn't even have the little lights that poke out on the sides that you see in modern day vehicles since 2005. This guy doesn't have the little lights that tell you that somebody's turning. So that's kind of a blast from the past right there. And then we move over here to the side, and we've got the rear wheel. We've got all sorts of paint and textures on this thing for different images on it. And then we're going to come around here to the back. The wheel is the same as the front wheels. They don't really change much there. And we come around here to the back, and we've got a exhaust pipe on the, what is that? Let's see, passenger side has a exhaust pipe. And then this hatchback actually opens. You can open the hatchback, but once again, not really much going on in the hatchback. You've just got his folded up legs in here. And that one was always something that annoyed me, the fact that this hatchback is clear plastic. And I'm like, but why? Why not just paint it blue? And I just don't understand that with any of them, honestly. Why? I get it whenever you have a nice interior and you want to show it off with the windows. But why, when you don't have any interior to show off with the windows, do you still make them clear windows? Why not just make this a tinted black window? You could have done that, but you didn't. I just don't get why. And they do that more and more with clear windows. But the clear windows show you a bunch of robot parts inside. There's no interior to show off. Why are you doing clear windows? In modern day Transformers, if you have no interior to show off, it seems that the clear plastic would just be, it just sucks. Why are you using it? Just use a light blue or something like that. Give us the impression of windows. You don't need clear plastic for the windows, because what are people seeing on the inside of that vehicle? I mean, if you're going to give us clear plastic, then you could have at least done some aluminum, some metal gluing onto the back of it to make it shiny, so it looks like, there's a reflection in there or something like that. I don't know why we still do clear plastic to this very day when we have nothing to show off on the inside. The alternators were really one of the last toy lines that showed things off on the inside. I know there was one more in 2007 for the movie. It was like the spiritual successor to Alternators. But I'm drawing a blank on that one's name right now. Anyway, let's move on from the rant. There's an Acura symbol right below the spoiler on the hatchback itself. If you pick up the hatchback, the Acura symbol goes up with it. And then below that, we've got a license plate with an Autobot symbol and then Prowl's name etched out. There's not really much more to talk about with this. We got some cool lights on the back. It's all really well done. It is just an immaculate little model car, and I absolutely love it. I love the fact, but this just comes from the fact that I love the Alternators cars. And this guy, he doesn't get an S ranking, sadly, because of this stupid clear plastic on the back window, that no working hatchback and stuff like that. He is kind of missing out on a few things that other alternators have. But I will give him an A+ score for his vehicle mode. Like I said, I think that should have been a darker plastic, and it would have hidden this leg assembly on the inside. And yeah, I'm talking to you like I can see this, because when I bought this, I could see it. So my memory is still pretty good on it. Now, the coolest part about this car is this weird light bar. It's a delta shape. It's weird. A delta being a V. And it comes down, and it actually goes down to little points on either end of the V for the lights. The light bar just doesn't end in a flat. It actually kind of tapers down to a little point on either side. And then you got this the metal part in the middle that makes the noise. There's usually vents around it so that the siren noise can come out. And then you have the two light bars that have the lights that spin inside of them. Really cool that they did that. And it's a fun shape. And the next time I've seen a shape like this was from Chase, from Legacy Evolution? Legacy Evolution. The Legacy Evolution line Chase had this same thing on him. And I think that is a cool light bar for police cars to have. And honestly, I don't know why more police cars don't have it. I know the flat bar is something that everybody sees and knows of, but here in the United States of America, but this one's cooler. So I really wish our police cars in the United States of America would have a cooler light bar like this one. This one's just it's slicked back, it's sweeping, it's got fun, it's got fun shapes in it. It's a fun light bar, and the ones in America are just boring in comparison. But that has been my review of Prowl, the Acura, the hatchback, the police car, the only police car, and no Barricade. I honestly just love this guy, and I really I like how the vehicles all move. So once again, A plus ranking from me. I've been Blind Prime. This orange thing sleeping to the corner of the camera has been Cream the Cat. Cream, why do you keep sleeping through the videos? Why do you keep sleeping through the videos? Don't put your paw in my mouth. Thanks for watching. Until next Prime, bye bye for now.